on SicEm365 Radio.
Welcome back in Up-Tempo Thursday, otherwise known as Thursday. Some countries call it Thursday. I am Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims running the production today. J.D. Pickell has slipped out to take his dog to the dog park, but that's all right. Cole Barber's lifting heavy machinery across the room today. It is a big day. Baylor Lady Bears play tonight, and it's a big time in America right now. You know, there's been a lot going on across the country, and we would be remiss if we didn't address it today on Up-Tempo, just because it seems careless to not mention it, and that is the fact that The Bachelor is currently going on in our nation. And I know it's taking a lot of people by storm. Me, myself, and I, being a college child, am just immersed in Bachelor culture. So today, to help explain to us what exactly is going on The Bachelor, and to put it in Big 12 terms, we're joined by resident sorority girl, Chi Omega, Abby Stokes. Abby, welcome on Up-Tempo.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, it's a pleasure to bring you on the show. And there's a lot that myself and Armstrong, our producer, are wondering today. And let's start here. What exactly is The Bachelor?
Okay, so general idea, they get one man and they bring 30 women on, and all 30 women are dating the same man. And at the end of each week, after they go on all of these elaborate dates, the man has a rose ceremony. He gives a rose to the people he wants to see next week. If you get a rose, you stay. If you don't, you go home.
Wow. So there is one man who gets to date 30 women.
Yes.
Wow. And tell me, how far into this process are we? I feel like I'm a little bit behind the boat with my Bachelor fandom.
We are about 5 weeks into The Bachelor right now. So I think we're down to 14 girls, around 14. So they started out with 30. They brought in 5 girls about halfway through, and now they have whittled it down to 14 potential wives for The Bachelor.
Wow. This process as well, when it comes to whittling down wives, is it like a stepping stool? Like the round one, you lose 10 people, and then it's 8, and then so on? Or how does this work?
Yeah, exactly. So they change the amount of people that they get rid of every week. So to start off, after the first rose ceremony, it goes from I think 30 women down to 20, and then they lose less and less girls each week. So.
Wow. And how much longer, now that I'm picking up in Bachelor, into the Bachelor fandom, how much longer do I have to immerse myself in what exactly is happening?
You've got a few weeks. I think there's 4 or 5 weeks left. We have the big hometown dates coming up. That's when you get down to the final 4. The final 4 people get to take the Bachelor home to meet their families. And then they have the final rose, which is the proposal.
From a cultural standpoint, is it weird at all that one man is going on a date with 30 different women? Does that ever become an issue?
Absolutely. And it baffles me because every time that he's talking to another girl, they'll show a clip of a girl being like, I can't believe he's kissing this girl in front of me. I can't believe he's doing this. I'm like, you signed up for The Bachelor. What did you think was going to happen? He's dating 30 women.
Thank you. Armstrong's a big proponent of this. So can you help us here, us at Up-Tempo? People at home are asking me right now, where our phone line is blowing up. They're saying, Drake, this is a college show about sports and Baylor. Does The Bachelor have anything to do with sports?
Not directly, but I think indirectly you could make some comparisons between the two. You've got the competition element, you've got the community element, and it rallies people around it. Me and my roommates, we sit down every week and we watch it, just like you gather to watch sports. So I mean, there's some similarities, but it's not the most similar thing.
Are there any Monopoly money bets that are placed on The Bachelor? Do your friends rally around the TV with Monopoly money on the line watching the show?
Not anybody that I know personally, but there are leagues. There's a fantasy Bachelor leagues out there, similar to fantasy football, where you guess who's going to make it through each week.
Wow. So take that, listeners that are questioning this. This is related to sports. Moreover, is there any relation to Baylor?
Again, not directly, but I mean, one of the old bachelorettes was a theta at Baylor, actually.
Wow.
JoJo Fletcher graduated from Baylor.
I am getting in my ear now from one of our producers, remote producers in New York, that a Pistol Pete was a Baylor Bear as well.
Yes, Pilot Pete was a Baylor Bear. Yes.
Wow. Can we confirm? Yeah, you don't remember Pilot Pete from The Bachelorette? Or was that The Bachelor?
Are you kidding?
He was the Bachelor.
You think I've ever
They
watched
start out going on The Bachelorette as contestants, and fan favorites who lose, who don't get proposed to, can then become the Bachelor.
No way.
That's how they select
it
the
works?
Bachelor?
I did not know that.
Yes.
Every time?
Yes, except for this time. This is actually the first time Matt James, this year's Bachelor, he is the first person who is not already part of what they like to call Bachelor Nation.
Oh.
He is brand new. They just picked him. He's friends with someone who is on The Bachelor, and they picked him.
Why did they do that?
Because people liked him. He joined something called the Quarantine Crew with this other man who was on The Bachelor, made TikToks, they blew up, and people wanted him to be The Bachelor. And so they said, okay, we're going to forget everyone who was on The Bachelorette, and we're just going straight for Matt James.
Wow.
That's unbelievable they have that kind of power. I felt like I was in control of my own life. Little did I know I could be on The Bachelor. I'm one good TikTok away from being on The Bachelor.
You are.
Exactly.
So, Abby, let's try to revert this into sports terms. If you were to break down The Bachelor into maybe even Big 12 terms, is there a way to do that?
I think I can do that. I can compare some of the contestants to Big 12 teams, kind of get that, so you guys can kind of be updated on who you like, who you don't like. Okay. So if you start watching, you have a good idea and you don't sound clueless.
Good.
Wow. I would love to hear that.
Yes.
Uh,
I'm taking notes.
All right, starting off strong, Baylor. We're going to start as our Baylor pick. Rachel is my favorite. She's my roommate's favorite. We all want her to win. Therefore, she's Baylor because we're all rooting for Baylor here at SicEm365, okay?
This is a good point.
So Rachel, she's front runner. She got a one-on-one date this week.
What makes her so great?
Yeah, what do you like about Rachel?
Is it the looks, personality, has a cute laugh maybe?
I don't think there's anything in particular. She's just very normal, and she understands that getting involved in all of the house drama isn't going to get her anywhere. She's staying out of it, which is what makes me like her. She's not caving into that, oh my gosh, she's talking to other women when you're on The Bachelor kind of mindset.
I like Rachel.
And she's from Dallas. Am I seeing that correctly?
Wow.
That might.
Am I looking at the right person?
Can we get her on the show? Do you know Rachel personally? Can you connect us with Rachel?
I don't know any of the Bachelor contestants personally.
Oh. Keep going then.
Okay, so Rachel's Baylor. That's who we're rooting for.
All right.
As our rival currently, we're going to hit TCU. TCU is contestant. Her name is Kit. Now, Kit's mom is apparently a famous designer, and she mentioned that like every other sentence during last night's episode, but no one knows who her mom is. She was just like, oh, I grew up in the spotlight, but people are like, who are you?
Wow. Kind
of idea. She's got that spoiled, grew up in the spotlight kind of thing. And she's really Rachel's biggest competition right now because they had the 2 one-on-one dates this week, meaning that they got time with The Bachelor.
So Kit would be TCU?
Yeah, Kit is TCU.
So not everyone gets a one-on-one date, is that right?
No, so there's group dates and then there's one-on-one dates.
Group dates? As
There's
in he goes on a date with multiple women at once?
Yes. He takes multiple people on a date all at once.
Not at my Good Baptist University. You're telling me Baylor students are watching this right now?
They are, tragically.
Oh, jeez. We need revolution. Okay, so we have Baylor and TCU. Are there any other teams that we could compare contestants to?
Oh, absolutely. I've got all of the Big 12 teams.
Oh, yes. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
So, Victoria, this is a name you need to remember. If you watch The Bachelor, you hate Victoria. Who does that kind of remind you of?
Yeah.
Texas.
Horns down. Victoria sucks.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Victoria sucks. Everyone hates UT when you watch any football game that you're playing UT. You root against UT. Naturally.
Take that, UT Mike. Victoria stinks.
If you watch The Bachelor, you have to hate Victoria.
Oh, she's still on the show? I've seen one episode.
Am I seeing this right?
Can I spoil it? Am I allowed to give spoilers from this week's episode?
Yeah, nobody that I don't watch The Bachelor.
Definitely.
She got sent home this week finally after all of this stuff, but she's just gross. She calls herself Queen Victoria.
Yeah, I was about to say.
She's just, it looks like she hasn't showered in a long time. Like, I just was really confused how she stayed there for so long.
I was too. I think I watched like part of the first episode solely because you forced me to. And I remember Victoria sucking, so I'm really glad that she's gone.
Yes. Victoria does suck. So
Oh. Okay, Victoria UT, I like that.
Naturally, that's the connection there. So coming in as we'll go Red River rivalry there. OU is going to be MJ. She's not quite as bad as Victoria, but she's really getting up there on the amount of drama she's causing, the things she's doing. She's really making her way up the hatred ladder. So that's MJ. You'll recognize her. She has really like curly blonde hair.
Yeah,
So if you watch,
I'll
that's
recognize
MJ.
her.
If you watch the show, I'm saying.
All right,
Okay,
I'll watch the show.
Okay.
Mondays?
Monday nights.
Bachelor Monday.
nights,
Okay. We got MJ,
MJ's
UT,
OU, okay.
Rachel. Okay. Okay, I'm keeping up.
All right.
Okay, Iowa State. In my opinion, who is harmed by Iowa State? Who has a big rivalry with Iowa State in the Big 12?
Nobody.
They made a good run in the Big 12 football last year.
They're just kind of there.
And like, I think, but they're just kind of there. That's kind of like Abigail, contestant Abigail. She's sweet. She's nice. She's doing good enough.
Is
Do I
that
think she'll
you?
win?
Would you
No.
compare yourself to Abigail?
No, absolutely not.
In name only.
But she's there. She's getting there. She'll probably make it pretty far, but I don't think she'll win. Similar to Iowa State.
Yikes! Take that, Iowa State fans.
That is rough.
All right. Then we have OSU, which they have also somewhat become irrelevant other than when they play OU. And like, they only play OU, but they still lose every time. So Jasenia is the name of this contestant that we're going to pick as OSU. Jasenia,
Bless you.
yes.
What's her name?
Bless you.
Jasenia, it's similar to Jessica, but with an N instead.
Okay, we're gonna have to get that changed. We're gonna have to make some phone calls. What is
So
she a cowgirl?
No, but she's getting put on what's called a 2-on-1 date. So he takes 2 women and only one of them returns from the date. The other one goes home.
Wow.
Oh, that's
Like,
cutthroat.
instantly
Oh my
on the date.
gosh! It's sudden death.
Cutthroat, man.
Yeah, so OSU, aka Jasenia, is going on a 2-on-1 date with MJ, who is OU in our Big 12 world.
That's kind of neat.
So, in my opinion, I think Jasenia will go home. We haven't seen it yet, but that's kind of my prediction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then Kansas State, next pick. Anna.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I straight up don't know how she made it through the weeks that she did because she never talked to Matt. She never had time with him. But then she just started stirring things up in the house. Like, she was so irrelevant to the show, but then just caused drama within the house.
What a strategy.
Kansas State, they were kind of irrelevant, and then they beat Oklahoma 2 years in a row. For what?
Wow.
For what like, why? They're not good enough to be beating Oklahoma. And then they came out of nowhere and just kind of disrupted things a little.
So this is Jasenia, right?
This is incredible.
No, this is Anna.
This is Anna.
Oh.
This is Anna.
Not to be confused with Rachel, because Rachel's Baylor.
Rachel is Baylor.
Nice. Okay. So we have our Kansas State.
Yes. Then we have Kansas. So Kansas is contestant. I think her name is Maggie, but she gets so little airtime and is so not important to the show that I had to put her as Kansas. She just wasn't getting any airtime. I don't understand how she's still on the show either.
Kansas.
Like she
When's
just
the
comes
last
on
time
every now and
Kansas
then.
played football on ESPN? Never. I don't think they ever played football on ESPN.
All right, now finishing us off strong, we have Texas Tech.
This is Matt. Matt has kissed 30 girls, so he is Texas Tech.
Yeah,
I know, we're overriding whatever you got going on.
Seriously.
Unless there's a girl in the house that's gotten around, so then she can be Texas Tech. Otherwise, Matt embodies the Texas Tech student body as a man with 30 women.
Yes, well, I put Serena. She's a contestant. She's kind of unbelievable. Like, for no reason, it's just annoying. Like, she doesn't do anything in particular to really make herself annoying. She just kind of is.
Wow.
But she's not doing much. Kind of like Texas Tech in the Big 12.
I'm seeing 2 Serenas.
I have Serena C.
Serena C.
Oh,
Okay,
Serena
okay.
C. Obviously. Wow.
So I actually had Matt James. You know, you would think that because it's The Bachelor would play like a pretty important role in the show. No, he is such an irrelevant piece to the show. Like, he's just there going on dates with people while the girls are having infighting in the house. So
do we like
that's where all the
Matt?
drama
What's
comes from.
our assessment of Matt right now? Who is he as a
like
Big
Matt.
12 team?
I think he has a lot less personality than like previous Bachelors.
That hurts.
But oddly enough, he started The Bachelor off after like everyone came out of the limo in prayer.
Oh.
It was a really nice thing. He prayed, and then, I mean, he's dating 30 women, so I don't really know how the two of those correlate.
Matt is the butt game. Matt is Baylor, Texas Tech at Cowboy Stadium. That's who Matt is. He prays before the game, but also Texas Tech is there.
Yeah, so I had him as kind of like the Big 12 commissioner is Matt James. Like, he should be important.
Bob Bowlesby. Bowlesby.
Like, he should be important because he's the commissioner of the Big 12, but in reality, you're watching the games. You're watching the two teams play each other. You don't really care what the commissioner's doing.
Wow.
So basically, Bob Bowlesby will pray before the conference, but also allows Kansas basketball to still play basketball.
Exactly.
Wow. What an assessment we've been given here. I feel like I am now adequately could compare. Who's our dark horse? We're rooting for Baylor right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're rooting for Rachel. We hate Victoria. Even though she went home, you can always hate on Victoria. That's the gist of things. If you want to talk to anyone about The Bachelor, just be like, oh, Victoria sucks.
Victoria's the worst.
Can we get Victoria on the show?
Can't believe Victoria.
Can somebody call Victoria?
Worst.
If our listener Twitter, do your thing. Get us Victoria, please. Okay, so
who are we? What's your prediction?
yeah.
I think Rachel will win.
Wow. Homer. That's just a Homer pick.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah. I think she'll win, but I think I could see Abigail winning too. That's our Iowa State pick, but I think she could win. I just don't know if she'll make it all the way.
Wow. I like Rachel already. From all the things you told me, she is very pretty. I haven't seen her. So Abby, for you are in a sorority as our resident sorority girl. As I understand, correct?
Yes, I am a Chi Omega.
Which sorority? Okay. Chi Omega.
Nice.
What would you put Chi Omega? If Chi Omega was a contestant on The Bachelor, who would she be?
If she was a contestant on The Bachelor, I would put her as Abigail. I would, despite how much I like Rachel, I would say Chi Omega is Abigail.
Is there a reason why?
I feel like no one really has a lot of issues with Chios. Not like, no one, they don't really cause a lot of problems. There's no house infighting like in some other sororities. Okay. And I feel like Abigail just does a good job staying out of the drama.
Wow. Well, you would know better than anyone as a Chi Omega. I am glad that you brought this perspective to the table. Our Bear Games questions of the day today, Abby, before we let you go. Number one, is Soul...
Well, I have one more question. I was going to ask her...
Introduce yourself.
On Mondays...
Introduce yourself.
I'm Armstrong Sims, the producer here. On Monday's episode, what was like a big drama? What was like a big thing that happened?
Okay, so Victoria got sent home. That was the big drama.
Okay.
So Katie, she was there. She's West Virginia. That's who we forgot. Katie is West Virginia. She's just kind of like out there, kind of but every now and then she likes to just like poke on in there and like stir some things up. So that's Katie. Katie went to Matt and said that the house was toxic because Victoria, that is the word she used. She said that Victoria was creating a toxic environment for the girls.
Well, yeah.
So there was all of this he said, she said. I didn't say that. I didn't do that.
It's pretty much she said, she said.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not as much he said, she said.
No, yeah.
So the big thing was Matt went to both Victoria and Anna and was like, I won't put up with bullying in the house, and sent them both home.
Wow.
Boom.
Yeah.
Matt putting his foot down.
Matt said, I am Bob Bowlesby, and I'm going to kick you out of the Big 12. Nice.
So now the big cliffhanger is the 2-on-1 date between Jacina and MJ.
Wow.
That's our OU-OSU game.
Somebody's got to go home. Is there a situation in The Bachelor where Matt could marry two women? Can there be two winners?
Is that legal?
Okay, that happened on Pilot Pete's season. He proposed to a girl, and then like a week later was like, I only proposed to you because the other girl sent herself home. So then he broke off that proposal and then went and proposed to the other girl that had already gone home.
Did it work?
No, they broke up, and then he started dating one of the contestants he sent home in like week 3. And they dated for like a few months, and then they just broke up.
Has any Bachelor relationship ever worked out?
JoJo Fletcher, she is the Baylor Theta alum.
Okay.
Wow.
She is happily engaged to be married. She's like to Jordan Rogers, Aaron Rodgers' little brother.
But
we're still early in the game, though.
Let's call JoJo. We need to get him on the show. We need to get JoJo on the show.
Yeah, they've been engaged for, I want to say, like 5 years. They were supposed to get married this year, but COVID.
Wow. Would you say, this is our Bear Games questions of the day. I know you have class at 12:30 because we are college students. Do you hate the movie Soul?
Okay, I heard it was like overhyped. I haven't seen it, but my sister watched it and was like, why is everyone freaking out about this movie? It's not good.
There's a rift. What's the worst movie of all time? And if it's not Polar Express, then you're wrong.
Okay, Polar Express is a horrible movie.
Thank you.
It's so
but
bad.
That wouldn't have been my first choice. I don't know if you've seen the movie Boyhood. Do not watch it ever.
I have.
they like follow the like actual, they film the kids growing up. Like it's the same cast as they grow from like being 5 to like 15.
Yep.
So they shot it over 10 years, but it has no storyline.
Yeah,
it is the worst 2 hours of my life. My family was watching it and we're like, what is going to happen in this movie? It's literally them just like eating dinner and that's the story.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
So
then
horrible.
how long do you leave your laundry in the washer?
Well, I have 5 roommates, so I can't leave it in there ever. I have to, if it's done, you put it in the dryer. We got to keep the rotation going.
Yeah.
If given the option, would you leave it in longer?
No, that would make them really soggy and like wrinkly.
Soggy and wrinkly? Okay,
Well,
your
no, it would-
entire case is just, they're literally
If you
in the
leave them in the
washer,
washer,
which
they
makes
just
them
came out and
soggy
they're
and
wet.
wrinkly.
Yeah, because they're wet because they just finished being in the wash.
Right, so you want
They're
them to
gonna
be
sit there
soggy and
go-
wrinkly.
But if you leave them there, they're going to stay like that. It's going to ruin your clothes.
Okay. I'll just give her that. I'll give her that.
I will give you that. You have class at 12:30. Abby Stokes, resident sorority girl from Chi Omega. Thanks for joining us on Uptempo today.
Thanks for having me.
Avarar. All right, folks. That was Abby Stokes again, resident sorority girl from Chi Omega from Baylor. You know who else is a Chi Omega? Angela Kinsey, who was in the office. I just asked a question and answered it myself. How about this? We're going to be joined in just a second by Grayson Grundafer, who is going to guest host for a little bit for funsies, because we freaking love having Grayson on. Did you listen to Grayson's show the other day?
I did listen to Grayson's show.
You did?
As in, what do you mean his show? Like
The show that he hosted.
on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was the producer.
Freaking good.
I was the.
Oh, that was you. You're that Armstrong.
That's me.
The same one as the afternoon show. Gosh dang it. Man, how do you do that all day?
I don't know. I have no answer.
Heart, sweat, and pixie dust?
Okay. We need to go to a break so we can go to Grayson.
Drake Toll, Armstrong, Sims, Cole Barber's hanging up a picture over there on the wall. And this is Uptempo.
MP Electric has developed a quality-oriented electrical contracting service